On Fort Myers Beach, a 6-story condo building is literally teetering on the edge of the Gulf of Mexico.
The Leonardo Arms condo building could suffer extensive damage or even collapse because of Hurricane Ian. NBC2 and ABC7 reporter Gage Goulding has actually been following this story for months now because they've been worried about it for this long. He's got the latest from Leonardo Arms tonight.
Yeah, there has been concern going months and months and months back. Whenever I first came here, back in the spring of this year, I was told about this, that the Gulf of Mexico is really close to this condo building. And I'll be honest with you, when I showed up, I didn't know really what to expect. Yeah, there's no way. But whenever I showed up, it was amazing to see just this space of 15 feet. I mean, my living room, I could walk farther in my living room, but these people can't walk out their backyard and without falling into the Gulf of Mexico. It's honestly incredible. And, you know, one thing I want to illustrate right now is I lost the rain jacket because we're in a period kind of between those rain bands where just drizzling out here and the wind is very calm. You would think it's just a regular night with a regular little drizzle. So kind of illustrating what they're dealing with. And if it could stay like this, the people here at Leonardo Arms, they would be thrilled. But unfortunately, we know that that's not going to be the case. And they've been trying to get this situation fixed. I mean, we're talking months and months and months of work. $1.2 million into this project. They have about 200 massive sandbags. You know, we've been talking about sandbags all week. This isn't little bags that you get at, you know, the fill station. We're talking big ones that had to be moved and placed with heavy pieces of machinery. That's the only thing separating them from the Gulf of Mexico and this condo building. You see, it's a 6-story building. There's 60 different units here, 60 different homes, people calling this place home. Right now, it's evacuated. And the plan was to get these sandbags up and placed until they could get the permit to build a permanent seawall, and that seawall would keep the Gulf out and be a little divider between the Gulf and the sand that's keeping this building upright. Well, turtle season came around, shorebird nesting season came around, and unfortunately, they couldn't build it until November 1st. But still, to this very day, they are still waiting for that permit to be signed. Leonardo Arms, they say they are ready to go. They have the money, they have the construction company, the contractor, they're ready to rock and roll. They're just waiting for the FWC and Florida Department of Environmental Protection to give it the A-OK. And let me tell you, residents here tonight, I just talked to them moments ago, they are just feeling like they're being left out. Take a listen.
It's almost like they want the building to fall in the water.
And I love turtles as much as anybody, but to have a turtle stand in front of a 60-unit condominium that are homes for 60 people, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and Gene Duffy, you hear there, he's the president of the Condo Association, and since this story started back in the spring, he's been saying we are one storm away from devastation. And that, think about that, that's pretty heavy. 60 different units here in this condo building, 60 different homes, 60 different families, one storm away from devastation. And I talked to him via Zoom today. We chatted about an hour to a couple hours ago, and I asked him, I said, Gene, do you think that Ian could be that storm? And he said, Gage, with the storm surge that's forecast, that 12 feet, if that's worst case scenario, if we get that worst case scenario, he lives on the first floor here. Let's walk over to the first floor. There's not much. I mean, I'm 6 foot and you're looking at, you know, maybe a couple foot gap here. That's underneath there. That's practically almost Gulf level, maybe a couple feet above. He says if we get that 12 feet storm surge, that's going to be way above my head. He says if you're sitting on the couch in my living room, you're going to be in the water, maybe even under the water. So it's just something to think about, you know, you sitting on your couch tonight, what this condo building could be facing. He is hoping, they're praying, everybody here trying to have faith that this building will withstand the forces of Hurricane Ian. And of course, we're going to be here watching and monitoring this very closely as the residents that live here, and I'm sure the town of Fort Myers Beach also keeping an eye on this as well. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.